again, before the course starts, this is actually, what's today? Today's Friday, the 16th, so the course starts on Monday. I'm recording this a little early in case you want to take a peek at Canvas. I know a few of you have already logged on, which is great. Just giving you a layout of the way the course is set up in Canvas and what you need to pay attention to. I'm actually going to switch to student view here, so it should look the way it looks when you log on. The home page is going to be just a list of resources. There's a link to the textbook, which, as I said in the other video, is at openstacks.org. Free to view online. You can download a PDF if you want. Although if you like big, heavy printed books, you can actually order a printed copy from them for, I think, $50. I don't think I've ever had anyone do that, but you can do that. And there's a link to my astronomy YouTube playlist, which is just all the videos from the course all in order. You're probably not going to need this because all of the content you need is here in the weekly pages. There's a link to 8 pages. You can also get to these by going to the pages link on the sidebar in Canvas. And each week has its own page. So if I click on week 1, there are links to the pre-course videos. And then for every day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there is a list of stuff to do for that day. Here's a link to a video of me talking. Here's a link to the associated chapter in the textbook that you're going to want to read to accompany that video. Here are some links to videos on YouTube with Carl Sagan and Neil deGrasse Tyson. So some of them will be links to my videos. Here's a crash course video. Some of them will be links to other videos. And all of these links should be checked and worked. If you come across a link that doesn't work or doesn't seem to go to the right thing, sometimes YouTube videos move. Let me know and I will try to fix that as quickly as I can. But every day you've got something to do. I try to put next to all the videos a list of a description of how long that video is. So the video that I recorded for day 1 is 21 minutes. You see that most of them 22 minutes, 16 minutes from Thursday, 2 25-minute videos on Friday. So the video times will vary from about a half an hour to, I try to keep it less than an hour per day. And as I said in the first video, you don't want to fall more than, you don't want to go more than 2 days without watching a video because all of a sudden then you've got 2.5, 3 hours of stuff to catch up on. So try to set aside some time every day. So all of these are listed with a date. There will also be, I think, links to the assignments here. For example, on Friday, Lab 1 has been posted. Lab 1 is due next Wednesday. I think I might change that to Friday. But for every day that I post a new assignment, you'll find a link there. You can also go to the assignments page. Any of you have used Canvas. Most of these navigation elements are going to be the same as all your other courses. Where you can see the upcoming assignments. There's a quiz 0, which is just a little quiz asking you some questions about what sorts of things you're interested in learning about in the class and just getting you used to using the Canvas quizzes and finding them and so on. And the Lab 1, which is due a week from Friday. And the week 1 review. These weekly reviews, I'm going to post one every week. They're going to be posted no later than Friday and due the following Monday. And these are where you are going to show me that you are keeping up with the videos and the reading. So if I click on week 1 review, these are the questions and they're going to be pretty much the same every week. What is something that you learned about the topic that I did not discuss in the video but was discussed in the reading? There should be something, actually probably several things every week that are in the textbook chapter that I did not discuss in the video. Likewise, is there anything that I discussed in the video that was not mentioned in the reading or discussed from a different perspective or a different context? What was something particularly interesting or surprising that you learned from either the books or the video this week, or something that made you think, or something that had you make a connection that you had never made before? And what is an unanswered question that you have after this week's lectures and readings? Something you're wondering about, something you don't quite understand yet, some bigger picture question that occurred to you while watching the videos or reading the lectures. You want to be as specific as you can. The answers to these questions should not be simple factual pieces of information like, I learned that Jupiter is 88,695 miles in diameter. That's great, but that's not a particularly big picture idea. They should be bigger theoretical ideas, scientific concepts that are interesting or important. And even though these are questions about your own experiences and ideas about the readings and videos, you'll be graded on the amount of detail, the amount of thoughtfulness, the amount of specificness of your responses. So these weekly reviews all together, and there'll be 8 of them because there are 8 weeks in the class. Well, there might only be 7. I might not give you a week 8 review because of the final exam. I don't like having assignments due the same day as the final. So there will be 7 or 8 of these. And yeah, it's like I said, my way of making sure that you are keeping up with the course material. So even though the class is asynchronous in the sense that you can watch the videos at your own pace, you're expected to, by the end of each week, by say each Monday, to have watched all of the videos from the previous week. So you can't fall more than a couple of days behind, or you won't be able to turn in the assignments in on time. So if we go back to the assignments page, there'll be one of these weekly reviews posted at the end of every week, and there'll sometimes be a quiz posted every week. I will, usually if there's going to be a quiz, I'll send out an announcement in the course announcements, which should be going to your emails if you've got Canvas set up to send you notification emails. So if you don't have that set up, be sure to check the announcements at the beginning of every week because there's going to be important stuff in there. The files section will have lab handouts. I should take this out. The mission priority assignment doesn't exist anymore. All of these things were just copied from last summer's class. Sample final questions before the final exam. I will post a document showing you kind of what my exams are usually like, what kinds of questions I ask. Obviously, the syllabus is in here. You should read over the syllabus if you haven't already. Talks about the learning objectives. I'm not going to sit here and read this to you. You can all read the syllabus on your own. I talked about a lot of this in the introductory video, the course format, the weekly lab activities, the course assignments, the grading, 25% for each of these parts of the class, the exams, the weekly reviews, the quizzes, and the lab activities, and attendance policy for the online course. Basically, you should plan to participate in the course every day or every other day. If you go more than 3 or 4 days without checking the course content, you are going to fall behind. And I will sometimes do spot checks of attendance and mark the attendance grade accordingly. And if you fail to complete 2 weekly reviews in a row, I will assume that means you're not engaging with the class for 2 weeks in a row. And if a student doesn't engage in a class for 2 weeks in a row, whether that's online or in person, faculty are required to drop you from the course. So if you disappear for 2 weeks, you will get a withdrawal notice in your email, and you can appeal that and get added back in. But that is a legal thing that has to do with financial aid. We can't be giving financial aid to students who aren't actually attending class. So this should be in almost all of your syllabi, that if you're gone for 14 days, you'll be dropped from the class. Late work. I'm not a stickler for lateness. If something's a day late or so, sometimes I don't even notice. But if I am grading assignments and something is more than a day or so late, I'll usually mark it down by a letter grade. And if you turn in something after I have graded everyone else's, I usually won't accept that late assignment. Sometimes I'll give you a 50% instead of a 0, which is way better for your average, but I can't be going back to regrade stuff that I've already graded everybody. So try to get stuff in on time. I sometimes tend to fall behind in my grading, so like I said, sometimes if you turn in something a day late, I won't notice, but don't count on that. Usually for this semester, I will probably be doing my grading on weekend mornings, say Saturday or Sunday mornings or Monday mornings when I go into campus. So Try to keep stuff, um, try to keep up with stuff, or you're gonna fall behind, and then it's impossible to catch up once you fall a week behind. Um, if you're going to miss the final exam for some reason, try to let me know ahead of time. The quizzes are going to be open for a couple of days. So when there's a quiz to take, you'll get like a 48-hour window to log in. But if you miss one of the quizzes, let me know, and I can open that up and schedule a time for you to make that up. Student support services, this should look the same in all your syllabi. Learner mentors, counseling services, disability services. If you have an accommodation letter or something, make sure I get that. But it does not really, the accommodations don't really apply much to an asynchronous online course when you have lots of time to do the stuff on your own schedule. Honor code stuff is, I hope, self-explanatory, that you should be doing your own work, that you shouldn't be copying things from either other students or from the internet. I talked about ChatGPT in my introductory video. I don't think you can use ChatGPT to do the kind of questions I've asked you to do for the weekly reviews. That's why I made the questions like that. For the lab reports, if you're working together, like if you have a friend and you're both in the class and you work together on the labs, I'm totally cool with that. Just make sure you make a note on the lab. Um, you know, um, Claire and I work together on this lab, just so that I know that any similarity is due to collaboration and not academic dishonesty. Just like if I wrote a scientific paper with someone, I would cite them as a collaborator. Um, the final exam is going to be online, and I don't use HonorLock or any of these kind of tools to make sure you aren't cheating on the final. I just simply try to write questions that would be hard to cheat on. That doesn't stop students from trying to be clever and do things like post exam questions to chegg.com and pay for answers. I have accounts on chegg.com and study.com and all the favorite internet sites to do things like that. 2 semesters ago, I found about half of my final exam on chegg.com and failed 3 students for that. So don't do things like that. That should go without saying, but I will say it anyway. And there's some question marks here about the last day to drop classes, because I don't know what that is for the summer. I have to look that up. But also the date of the final exam, I have to check and make sure that it fits into the schedule. So it might not be the Friday of week 8. It might be the following Monday. I just need to look at that schedule, and I'll update those dates as the course goes on. I think that's it. There's a Zoom link here, but I don't plan on using Zoom. All my lectures are on YouTube. Oh, the discussions. I don't know if we're gonna do much with the discussion board. I think I mentioned that I might just put some kind of interesting side conversations in here. I might start a little discussion board about, I don't know, UFOs and flying saucers, or why people who believe the Earth is flat are stupid, like stuff like that, but things that are not really related to the course directly. Just little side conversations. Usually the discussion board is just something I use for interesting links I come across while the course is going on. Astronomy stuff that shows up in the news, if there's a big space mission launched while the course is going on. I put stuff in the discussion board about it. I don't think that's going to happen in the next 8 weeks. There's no big space missions that I know about, but stuff happens sometimes. A star could go supernova in the next 8 weeks, and then there would be big astronomy news. So that's what the discussion boards will be for. You should get a notification if there's new discussions posted. Take a peek at them, but the discussion boards are not going to be one of these things where you're required to post stuff and respond to stuff. It's not that kind of class. So it's there. There will sometimes be stuff there, but it's not going to be stuff that you're graded on. It's just a side channel to the class. Yeah, so I think that's it. If you have any questions about the class, there is opportunity for you to ask them here in the first quiz. If you look at the quiz 0, which is due at the end of the week, one of the questions in the quiz is, do you have any questions about the class? Either the stuff we're going to learn about or the mechanics of how the class works. Or if you have any questions after watching these 2 introductory videos, shoot me an email and I will try to answer those questions.